Hey everybody, welcome to the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Gimpy, alongside the one, the only, the Chipped Monk. What's up, bro?
Hey man, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Just
Man.
started a little later than normal. Had to stay up and watch that WWE PLE.
How was it, man?
Meh. It was about a C.
Was there any betrayals? Did everyone show up to the ring and cause mischief and mayhem?
There was. Do you want spoilers?
Yeah, man, give me a little bit of the spoilers, dude.
Okay. The Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan match was all right, but they got interrupted by Raquel Rodriguez, who
I'm up in the cage, right? Is that this one?
They did, which is pretty funny. Raquel Rodriguez came in, interrupted, and she has zero personality. I don't know why.
Dang.
Like WWE likes her so much. She sucks. She came in, the crowd didn't even react really.
Dang.
And she, like, the match was over by disqualification, but she took Liv Morgan and had her pin Rhea Ripley. And like everyone knew it was a disqualification, the bell already rang and she looked confused. And then she like pulled her off and then just kind of tried to look menacing. It was dumb.
Custody for Dominic, man. Match of the century.
CM Punk Drew McIntyre match was good. It was a really long Hell in a Cell match, but they like bled all over the place. So that was a good match. Not that blood makes it better, but we see it so little in WWE that when it's like that ridiculous, it sticks. So that was cool.
Like, oh man.
I'll skip all the other matches. Like I was disappointed in the Damian Priest Finn Balor one. I was looking forward to that, and it just didn't live up to my expectations. And I love Finn.
Even Judgment Day, not making it out, no breakouts.
Nope.
Except our truth.
Judgment Day still fine with the new incarnation of it. The big one, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. The match started off slow, as all Roman Reigns matches do. It was all right. Cody had a good spot to get revenge on Jacob Fatu, and Reigns and Cody Rhodes won, which I think kind of lessens Solo's bloodline. But we'll see what happens, because at the end, Jimmy Uso came back, and so did The Rock.
All right, final boss is here.
Yeah. So Rock said nothing. He was just out there looking like an old man. I love Rock, but he's definitely looking old now.
He is old.
So
it's accurate.
Well, that's true. But yeah, and that was it. It was like I felt like I wasted my time. I could have just like fast forwarded and watched the main event. And the Bayley Nia Jax match, actually, I'll give a quick shout out to that, because Nia Jax has definitely improved in the ring. And the
she's
match,
no longer hurting everyone all the time.
Yeah, and she did some pretty surprisingly athletic stuff, like powerhouse moves that she would like struggle with in the past. She actually pulled them off this time. There's one like botched move that was hilarious, which I won't go into, but it looked like she tried to do a Hurricane Rana, but it turned into like the really slow roll up. It was all right, but overall, like probably a
for
C minus.
She got the roly poly, dude.
C minus D pay per view.
Dang.
Not all of them can be bangers, but it was nice seeing Cody and Roman working together.
Yeah, it's like a weird time too, like in the season of wrestling. It's like
because next is like WrestleMania or something. Yeah, it's in Crown Jewel.
Like Crown Jewel doesn't even count. It's like it's like a fantasy match.
Yep.
All right, man. Yeah, you've been playing any games? You been up to anything else, man?
Yeah. As far as games playing, I've been back on the VR kick.
You're trying to get me into Ultimax the other day.
Yeah. I was
have to plug in my VR, man. I figured out what's been going on with mine. I think my cord broke that I've been using my VR to tether it. Yeah.
Okay.
To the PC, so I need to get like a new USB thing.
Because you've been doing the virtual desktop, right? Just the wireless connection?
I was just doing a lot of that. Yep.
Okay.
And like even that last time I tried to use it wasn't working when you and Spark were on, and I don't know, man. Just drama with it nonstop.
Gotcha.
I've used it to watch like YouTube every once in a while. But I also have like those like sunglasses and reels.
Oh, you picked those up. That's right. Yeah. What do you think of them?
Go-to. Yeah, I've been using the heck out of them. I wanted to use them more for just working out, like on the bike and stuff. But
yeah,
I went from that to like, all right, I can just lay in bed and watch movies instead with them.
Yeah, I've been when I'm on like the elliptical or whatever, I just have those on myself. I'm just watching whatever TV show or whatever that I wanted to see, you know. So that's been amazing. For me, I have a Pixel, and it doesn't Pixel doesn't output HDMI or video over HDMI over USB-C, which is dumb. So I just steal my wife's phone and use it. But yeah, I absolutely love them, dude. How are they comfort wise for you?
They're all right. They're like a little still awkward, and they pinch like the bridge of my nose. But these ones have like the little dial in, so I don't need glasses or anything with them or any corrective lenses.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Gotcha.
I don't know, man. I feel like they kind of go out of focus, and then like I'm using like an Android box, like a little handheld Android box, and that always resets. So I sometimes have to unplug and replug it in to reset like the volume. Like sometimes the volume just kills out because of the Android device. But yeah.
Okay. But
I don't know. My YouTube algorithm's been getting nuts, dude. It's like, oh, you must be into like hacking and clusters and stuff, and now it's made me want to build an orb to ponder, because I saw that Vegas cube, dude, and I was like, I want one of those. So I was looking at like how to build one, and like,
love it.
There's nobody showing you how to build one, dude. Like, there's like a few guys who made like mini like planetarium style orb things, and a few guys have 3D printed out like LED ones.
Yeah.
And like those are pretty cool. And like one of them, this guy did one with like wood in his backyard, but again with just like LEDs and like programmable LEDs. So I don't know. So I ordered some stuff to try and get it to work. It reminds me of like early programming in like C#, where like I have like a question, and then like I find like a Reddit post, and then it's like somebody asking like the same question, and then like the only post is like, so did you ever find a solution to this? And that's
the old Microsoft Answers conundrum. Everyone has a question, no one has an answer.
Yeah, dude.
And then
is anyone doing this?
Like 7 years later, someone will necro the thread and have the answer out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. And I've been playing with that also led me to like local LLMs. So I've been using OpenLlama a little bit. So downloaded that.
Yeah. For the viewers, explain the LLM there.
It's like ChatGPT. It's a large language model. It's so Meta just dropped an open source one that's like 405 billion parameters, which is one of the biggest open source ones that you can get.
It's huge, yeah.
So I was using like the 7B version of that. It works. I don't know. And then like I was trying to tie that into Unity, and then again, there's no tutorials on how to do that.
You're just raw dogging it to Unity. Okay.
Someone like posted like 8 different like GitHub repositories, was like, oh, just try and figure out how to use these. And I was like, oh damn, I don't know if I want to download 8 different projects and like reverse engineer like how to get this to work specifically with like this weird open, like all of them are for like ChatGPT or like Claudia.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then that got me looking at clusters of like Pis, Raspberry Pis. So watching my boy Jeff, and I was like, man, there's like a new like RK Rock Turing machine, which is like pretty strong, and he has like a 5-stack cluster of that. And somebody else has now like open sourced it's called like Exo cluster for like distributing large language models on like all of your peripheral devices that are on your network.
And then, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So people are starting to make headway into like distributed computing, which has been nice because I've always felt like cluster computing has been the future for a while now.
Well, it's been the future in medical research already.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Yeah. PlayStation's famous folding at home was the first like that I know of. I could be wrong, but the first like large scale adaptive, you can just do it if you want, research model to help fund like research into curing cancer.
Yeah, man. So, see the movie Choppy for more information, dude.
But that's incredible, and to do that on a scale for where you could do it at home is incredible.
Yeah, like low wattage as well. Like I think that's like kind of the beauty of like these small microcomputers on a chip. And then there's also very specific like processors and hardware coming out now just for AI research. I don't know, man. It's I remember talking with somebody about some Moore's law, and they were talking about like shrinking computing power down, and I was like, even if we get to like sub nanometer and we can't go any deeper than that, like what if we just made like a football field size computer? You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Sure.
oh, it only gets this small. It's like, yeah. So I've always thought of like huge clusters of computers being centrally located, distributing to like people's phones or streaming. And we're moving more and more towards. I thought it would have been faster. I thought we'd been there by like 2015, 2018. But I don't know. People like to own shit. I like to have the thing in my hand. I don't like to rent computer space. I think is that game .hack or what a hack, where you're like a hacker man and like you're renting computers and you just kind of like dial in what you want, like virtual machines. And I know like what got me hot on it was the Blender 3D modeling. So for games and whatnot, where I've always been like, man, if I could just distribute my rendering across like these computers. And there's been a few like open source trials of it, but like most people, again, like you said with like cancer research and stuff, I remember like hearing about Bitcoin early on, like 99, 98 or something like that, like early, like it's like when it was like first game now where it wasn't quite mainstream, and my one buddy got into it and I was like, I don't trust it. And I was like, if you're going to do this, like using your computer resources to like make a, work on these big
then the power
algorithms.
draw was ridiculous. It's already ridiculous, but I can't imagine
still
back
is.
then.
It's like one of the biggest problems. But even back then, as far back as that, you could have like donated your computer time to like folding, proteins to like get that going. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just do that, or like help with the cancer research? Because you can also donate your computing power to those things. And so I'm like, I'm like wanting these like virtual fake coins instead of like helping better all of mankind. So I just never trusted it as well, because they're like, oh, it's just mathematics, just working on these huge math problems. I'm like, security algorithms are just math. I'm like, who is this? Who's behind this? And so he's just like, it's just this thing everyone's doing. I'm like, I don't trust it, man. I've heard of like DDoSes and stuff, and distributed over network attacks and all this stuff. I'm like, I'm not sure if this is like a bad foreign actor or what, or our government, and I'm helping them out somehow. And I don't trust it.
You probably were more interested in that stuff then. Back in the late 90s, I was playing Unreal Tournament and Quake 3, not really worrying about anything like that. Interesting, man. Okay. I've speaking of the like small computing stuff, I decided to upgrade my Raspberry Pi B2 to a 5.
Oh, yeah, the new 5 just dropped.
Yeah, just
were you able to get one? Did you go out to like Micro Center, or did you
I went out to the Micro Center and they were out. But they had it online for the same price, so it'll be here like Wednesday. The main reason I'm not doing anything fancy with the Raspberry Pi. I did run my NAS off of it before I got like a true like a old Netgear NAS device, ready NAS. But my Raspberry Pi 2, it had some. Like years ago, my house, had like a lightning hit and some stuff fried, and that Raspberry Pi had like the little adapter fried, and it was fine for a while, but just something just there, like when the transistor
just never the same.
Was just wonky, like it got way too hot, but it worked for the most part. I booted it up because my daughter's been interested in more retro gaming. So it's like, okay, you can play, I can put this in like your room and stuff. And the Raspberry Pi was just like, it was even lagging on like NES, so I'm like, okay, I got to upgrade this. But now I can upgrade it and do more modern consoles. Like, and by modern, I mean like Dreamcast, PS2, So that's the plan. I'll throw some Dreamcast, PS2 stuff on there.
Building a Pi Zero emulation machine just for old school consoles for like my coworker at one point.
Yeah.
And like even back then it was like $30-$40. Like this is
it's still pretty
extremely
cheap,
affordable. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, all right, I can give them like, this was like pre the Nintendo Mini and Sega Mini, and so there wasn't really an option.
3D print those little NES cases for the Pi. I'm gonna 3D print one of those. Pop it in there.
Oh dang. I might need to steal your 3D printing expertise and modeling for this orb project, dude.
Yeah. I gotta get. I'll tell you off camera here. I was gonna up my 3D printing game, but I'll let you know.
All right. Hey, big things happening.
Not really that big. Just another product that I'm buying to just ensure that my prints are solid every single time. Just I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, there's all kinds of upgrades, man. Once you start getting into that, like
it's a rabbit hole
level. You can up the cooling, you can up the nozzle, you can fix the plates, you can add glass to it, you can do all kinds of stuff, man.
Yep.
You can 3D print out different spools and feeders, and
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's as big or as small as you want to go. It's as automated as you want. You can do all kinds of things now with those platforms.
Yeah, super fun, man. But
it's just an imagination space.
Yeah, a little update on the game dev front here.
Yeah. You see my Crossfire?
I did see your Crossfire.
You want to 3D print one of those, dude? I was like, do it, you coward. You won't.
Yeah. I looked at it and I was like, I don't know about scale. And then when he said it was just like ball bearings and like triangles, I'm like, all right, yeah, not too bad.
Do it, dude. Do it. Someone out there is going to do this, dude. And it could be you. You could be.
We can give the rebirth of Crossfire.
Yeah, dude. Because I told you, you're like, what even made you think about this? My coworker brought it up because we're talking about like Christmas gifts.
Yeah, so for everyone who is thinking, there was a board game in the 90s that I don't think anyone's ever had. I don't think anyone owned this game.
Nobody owned it, but everybody knew somebody who had it, and maybe you played it once. And I played it once with somebody, and they had lost like most of the ball bearings and stuff, so it was a pretty lackluster experience. And we played it for like 3 minutes and never played it. It was like what was that game? Cup Plunk or whatever. Remember that?
What's the one dope, dude.
What's the cups? Like ping pong balls where you're throwing ping pong balls into cups? It was like Milton Bradley made it.
Oh, I don't remember what that was called. Yeah, no, Kerplunk was Kerplunk had the catapult, right, where you did it and then you had to get in the cup and then it knocked over or something. I don't know. There's
all kinds of
it was a wild time, man. There's a lot of cool board games back then. But yeah, the Crossfire had probably one of the best marketing campaigns ever because it had a catchy ass like jingle. It's get caught in the crossfire.
They made it in the 70s and then they reimagined it in the 90s with like that 80. They had like a catchy jingle and that was all you needed back then. Make you feel cool as hell.
But yeah, long story short, Chip made Crossfire in Unity. And I say Crossfire because that's how everyone said it, honestly.
I don't know. I programmed that real quick. I thought it would be.
You gonna throw multiplayer in that, and then we can just battle, or you can.
Yeah, I might have to, dude.
Yeah,
it's I don't know.
Because I know you did that network test a while back. Have you ever gone back and refined it?
No, I was looking at like GDevelop stuff because we were talking about maybe entering that GDevelop thing. So I was literally just watching a GDevelop multiplayer tutorial right before this started.
Yeah.
I don't know if the professor's serious. Did he ever talk to you about it?
Him and I spoke a little bit yesterday about it. Let me.
Exactly put him on blast.
Yeah, put him on blast. Yeah,
my man's got the receipts here, dude. Live on air.
Shout out, Professor, dude, for forever. You, I, Professor, and Sir Solace. Like Sir Solace, the GameJam started when he's already been in Alaska, but when I came back, we still jammed, So it's always been, but life happens. So I showed him the RTS concept that I made. That he talked about, the GDevelop. I said I'd have to look into it because I don't know if we're doing the multiplayer one or the Halloween one, like one of the spooky ones. And I'll obviously have to see my own availability to do this. And
we can just do one whenever too. Like we don't need an official thing.
And he said,
we can use any engine.
He said he wants to just do it over a weekend, like a Friday through Sunday, just hammer it out and be done with it, not have it linger.
Those are the best ways to do it.
True. And I just kind of thought about our old jams when we were all less experienced at it, and I was like, well, let's avoid these pitfalls. I said it's not fair to have all the programming on the professor. It's not fair to have all the art on you, Chip.
No, dang. All
and
right.
I was like, and honestly, I'm like in this weird spot where I've completed jams and I've done every bit. So I'm like, I don't know completely where I would fit because you guys both can be super specialized, but I've completed jams and we've won jam contests, so maybe I can just do like some of the project management and help
yourself
each
the
side.
Idea guy, dude.
No, I'm definitely not going to be the idea guy, but I'm saying we've brought things to the finish line,
Yeah, I've finished a lot of things. Dude.
No, you have, but I mean, just like that jam context,
I made Crossfire yesterday, bro.
But
come at me, bro.
And I was like,
did that in like 4 hours.
So since we're trying to do a GDevelop jam, I asked him. I'm unfamiliar with it, right? So I asked him how does it define global variables? How do you do at what point is this? And then he goes, it's just bootleg construct. So I looked at it, and since I know how to use construct, it was definitely bootleg construct. So I'm like, okay, very good. Everything's handled by events. He's like, yeah, or you can raw dog in JavaScript. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, so, like a lot of global variables and stuff are a little backwards because you have to like set them on preferences. They don't just like have like a button for, or at least they used to not. I don't know. I haven't used it in almost a year or so. But yeah, like global events and stuff are like handled by that, and then you can set up global variables. Like I told you, we are talking about this a little bit yesterday about like enums and like state machines for states of handling like turn-based games.
Yes,
and like I had to use like bools in there because I didn't see an easy way to do that back then. I don't know if they've also fixed it. Again, like there's a lot of those things where it's like this doesn't work yet. Maybe it's fixed now. Like because I've got on there pretty early, like right when they launched like the standard standalone.
Your game Dicey Dungeons was made with GDevelop, correct?
Yeah. So, I took like 2 weeks off just to learn GDevelop, and I made like probably like 15, 16 games, and they're like I didn't post them online except for that Dicey one.
Yep.
So I don't know. And like I just remade like a lot of like arcade classics and stuff like the Stacker game or like Dragon Force or
yeah,
man. Like we could all do whatever. Like
and no, I'm not saying I'm going to be the idea man, but I think that I can condense all of our ideas, and focus us.
Do we even want to use GDevelop?
Well, if it depends what jam we're entering, right? I don't care what we use. I just want to know jam, scope, timeline, and then just go that way. Because I was thinking with Sir Solace and I, what worked so well in the jams that we did was we both had days off where we just were on the computer, just on a voice chat. Back then it was Ventrilo or... What was the thing?
Yeah, something like that.
I can't remember. Some old voice chat program, right? Mumble. It was Mumble back then.
Oh, dang. Mumble, man.
Yeah, we had our own Mumble server. So we just hopped on Mumble, had Construct up. We both pitched ideas to each other. We both tried to do rapid prototype things just to see if the gameplay was fun. We picked the one we both liked the best, and then we went from there. One started on art, one started on just using blocks and just getting like something up and running, and then we played it for a bit and then reiterated, and then decided scope, and then just went to it. And this is with all in a few days, So like the Startbusters was made in 2 days,
nice.
And we joined that GameJam late because we didn't know about it. So we we had a week to do this. It's like, oh shit, we have 2 days to do this. So, I loved that time. Brad Blevin's Slapdown, my very first GameJam game, was made in a night, and we ended up winning that jam. So,
dang.
You
made it in a cave, dude.
Exactly. And people were fucking jealous, dude. That's the crazy thing. People were just hating. They're like, man, this dude didn't even try. I'm like, fuck you, I won. And then some
haters,
of the
dude.
Yeah, it's incredible how some people just hate.
The guy's living rent free in your head still, bros. 10 years ago.
Longer than that. But no, I just remember just the incredible, just like why. I don't know. I didn't understand it, but
I don't know. We're like all different Pokemons. We're different Pokemon types, I would say, because like the professor knows JavaScript. I know like C#. Game Makers? Was it like GM script or whatever?
Yeah, I know GML.
Yeah, GML. Yep. So we all have that. We've all used like Construct. I've used. I think I'm the only one who's used GDevelop, but it's basically Construct. I don't know if the professor's dabbled at all.
Professor's used it. He's made a couple things in it.
The professor always talks in Mad Game. He's like, I can figure out how to program anything in like a few minutes, and I'll give him something. He'll be like, all right, yeah, give me a minute. He'll be like, let me cook, and then he'll just like quietly walk away from it. But yeah.
Don't put that man out there like that.
Hey man, I'll put him on blast every time, dude.
But I think it'll be fun, and I do think when we decide on a jam to do, having Professor on this talk, if he doesn't have to be on video if he doesn't want to, but to just have the experience would be interesting too.
Yeah, maybe we should try like something smaller scope, like right now, like distributed over like a long like week-long period or something. You know what I'm saying? Like. Make like a whatever the kids are using, like a Trello board, and be like, oh, because I feel like both of us can use like a trench broom. So it's like, well, if we just quickly like threw together some trench broom things and like had like the like a rat in a maze or a Pac-Man style game, just something easy,
Yeah,
some levels.
yeah, definitely do that.
Just get back in the groove of like working a little bit as a team, or like, because I feel like if we do like a quick crash course, we'll figure out better like the scope and things, or we could even do it in GDevelop if we want to, like whatever engine we're going to use, like we could be like, all right, let's try and do that, because I feel like then we're not struggling to figure out how to do that during the game jam of like, oh, how do we use this engine, how do we share, are we doing like GitHub repositories, or are we doing like a Google Drive, what about Task, are we using Trello, or using like something else? There's like a bunch of other like local project things. Is the professor want to spin up a server just for running like some open source stuff for doing that? Because I know like there's all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I think we should do like if we're serious about it, I think like over the next 2 weeks we should try and make like a small game, just distribute it over that time where we're not all working together, but all working towards like finishing
towards a goal.
Yeah, like a single screen type of thing.
Yeah, maybe we should get them on and see. 'Cause, let's see. Yeah, we'll talk about schedule and stuff after. That's a decent idea. But man. So I just wanted to pop in and say that my own goals and things. So the top-down game I mentioned, shit, it might have been a year ago. I started working on again, and I'm making some strides for sure. And I figured out that I was doing my sound detection system way inefficient. So I've scrapped that.
Did you figure out how to do like spatial audio and stuff so you can like look around and be like, where's that coming from?
Oh, that'd be cool. No, it's not. That's not in the scope. So what I'm doing is every single character, every enemy, and your character has like just kind of like a sound field, but it's like a radius for how much noise it's making. So if they overlap, that's when the enemy can kind of look for you. So I'm doing it with just like an invisible sprite. So every step you take, it just goes like, like out, just like kind of radiates out.
Yeah, like the old school sneaking games.
Yeah, that which is what I wanted. So I got that working, and I got where you could just kind of avoid things. So I'm going for like an old school Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear style.
Metal Gear.
Right? And then I thought with that I'll do like vision cones as well. So I was thinking about how to do that and convey to the player. But then I thought animating it would, like, not the cones, but like the players themselves for all these states would be kind of ass. So I'm still throwing stuff at the board right now. But
you could use the classic iconography or whatever, like a question mark, exclamation points.
Yeah, exactly.
Dot.
So we'll see where I go with that. But I made a RTS like style mini game the other day.
You've been making all kinds of stuff, dude. You're showing me all these projects.
Yeah, I've just been knocking stuff out. So my goal is I want to make something in every major genre, just to have the experience behind me. Because I think each genre gives you some level of knowledge that you didn't have before. Not every, and then you can kind of overlap the same things that are in every game. Like health bars, like menu systems, things like that. That's in every single game, and player health, things like that. And I can just do that in my sleep.
Core systems.
I've
been thinking about doing something similar, not to straight up copy your homework or whatever, but I've been thinking about like making like a blank universal template with like the different scripts, and I've been like slowly kind of working toward that. So like just interchangeable scripts that I can like throw in any project. And like I'll start and stop on those as well. I think like for me the bigger problem has been like I'll make the thing and then I don't have like anything to show for it. I'm like, all right, figure out how to do this thing, and then that's been my goal, because we spoke last week about maybe we can at the end of the year we can just kind of like do a quick blurb of showing everything what we did. And I'm like, man, all my stuff I just kind of make and then it looks okay for me, and then I just kind of toss to the side. And I'm like, I should just make something where I can just show. So that was like the catalyst. So I've just constantly just share gifs of screen grabs or whatever. I'm like,
you've been doing that. And I'm like, I'm gonna adopt that. And I was like, if I at least show you.
I got it from you, dude. Originally, because it was like was it a screenshot Saturday, like on X or Twitter? They used to do that with like indie devs, where it'd be like, oh, share your progress.
Yep. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I saw you doing that, and I was like, man, I kind of want to do that, but I don't use, like social media like that. So I was like, oh, I'll just show it to my buddies, or like, people who care will keep me motivated, like you, or like a
Yeah.
professor, or other boy, Big Poppy.
Yep. I've been sharing
Yeah.
with the crab. But yeah, I think
Crab
that
King.
us doing a jam and just deciding scope is definitely well within the wheelhouse, and that was my other goal for 2024. We can definitely knock that out, and yeah, it's just up for me to get some time because I think just if Professor and I can sync our schedules, I think that'd work pretty well. So
Yeah,
it's not only just syncing schedules,
we gonna see that.
it's the wives. It's like, hey, I'm gonna be degenerate down on the computer for a couple days.
Yeah,
Watch
in
the kids.
Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man. Yeah, just some progress. Good talk. We'll
Yeah, man.
decide some stuff and then hopefully talk about it some more and talk about scope and stuff next week.
Yeah, I haven't really been working on too much of anything lately. Like I'll throw together like a quick project like that Crossfire, or like I have like another game that I made, which was like Hearthstone, but with just numbers. And then I talked to my Wombo. I came up with an idea for I remember like a useless box or useless machine. Those little things with like little toggles. I was like, oh, how can I make like a game using that? So I just have like vague ideas and like a couple of sketches on some paper next to me where I'm like, I've been doing more of that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I called you out, bro, because I feel more of the idea guy now.
You have?
Like, yeah. When we're talking about doing the game jam, I created like a document with just like a bunch of ideas. And it's just kind of like a mood board or a collage of like, all right, here's some like genre mashups. Here's what I think would be good. And here's like, screenshots or grabs from those games. And I'm like, all right, I think this would be like a cool mechanic, or that would be interesting. And like some of the stuff's already been done, and I just, I'm not in the know because I was talking with some people. I was like, oh, I got this great idea. And they're like, yeah, it's been done, dude. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, stuff's always been done. You can always do the same thing, but better or different. It's like, it's like there wouldn't be like 900,000 platformers if everyone just looked at Mario and said it's been done.
It's like good enough, dude.
That's all I'm saying.
Everything's been done.
All right, man. For the good shit, for the Combo Wombo podcast, I'm Mr. Gimpy. It's
Chipmunk.
Like, share, subscribe. We're just bullshitting about game deving, but see you guys next week. Take care.
Peace.